Audia Dixon, and I am an artist and an art instructor. I'm talking about Black girlhood before they reach to Black womanhood and what that whole process looks like, how it can be intimidating, and also putting Black children in natural green spaces where there is a sense of freedom, there's a sense of exploration and adventure, but also to show like the dangers of landscapes. You know, it seems all welcoming and pleasant, but there can be danger afoot. But the kids have no idea. So it's also showing the children's naivete, I guess, of what's around them and they don't even realize, right? So it's kind of like tugging that whole idea of how young people absorb information and still learning about themselves. Grew up around a lot of artists in my family. Both of my grandparents were artists. And so I just saw them and I kind of got exposed at a young age, and so it took off from there, and you know, painting or art became my way of expressing myself. I wanted to change the perspective of eating in the context of a young Black girl, you know? So there's gonna be some, mishaps or some kind of flaw in that Edenic playground. So I wanted to present, this is a child's dream of her paradise, of her escape, but also the insecurities that she's facing too. So it's kind of like a collage of things, of how this girl feels about herself, how she feels about the people around, by herself, and also attaching historical symbols that have created those insecurities for herself. So that's why I put a George Washington sculpture at the very far end of the panel to communicate that. Like, there is some relationship when it comes to race and identity that affects a young Black girl. So I'm putting all these little identifiers to suggest that in a really open landscape that's really dreamlike, but there's also something else is happening. This eat is not quite right. It's not quite that, it's imperfect, right? So I wanted to explore that. So I wanted to give it some sinister and magic and fantasy, a dream and a nightmare, that tug of war between those two. Walk into a gallery and look at the work of art for more than 10 seconds. 10 seconds seems like a lot, but the more you look, the more you start to appreciate, rather than just jump from one thing to the next. And talk to the artists. That's what we're here to represent, our work and stuff. So, you know, instead of just kind of like pop them in your hand and then dip, stay here a little longer, you know. You'll be surprised that you might learn something. So, yeah.